There were surprising developments over the weekend regarding the $15 billion WestCONnex motorway project and its offshoots. The New South Wales opposition says Sydney drivers are in for a rude shock, with the government looking at a major ways to change tolls on existing roads. If this potential policy change that wasn't revealed before the election goes ahead, critics warn that the city may be permanently changed for the worse. Marilyn Hercules reports.
Labor has warned that motorists will face paying tolls in both directions on Sydney Harbour Bridge and Harbour Tunnel amid the potential overhaul of the city's motorway network. Motorists currently only pay a toll southbound on these two roads, but with the proposed Western Harbour Tunnel development, it is likely they will be charged in both directions. These increased toll charges will also affect the Eastern Distributor and the Southern Cross Drive, which links the Eastern Distributor to the Sydney Airport and has no toll at present. Sydney-based author and former ABC broadcaster Cassie is a founding member of the No WestCONnex Public Transport Not Motorways organisation. She was involved in the successful No M4 East campaign a few years ago that she believes would also have destroyed the inner west.
Once people realise that they'll be paying for every little bit of road they drive on, driving gets less and less attractive, particularly when you're stuck in traffic anyway, and at least you might have half the time you're only paying tolls. But once they ramp up the tolls, our predictions, government predictions are revealing nothing, but our predictions show that the cap could be up to about $26 on reintroduced tolls, which is 3 times the government predictions for the M4. That's just for the M4.
According to Plata, the new tollway developments are the last thing the city needs for a sustainable future.
Public transport's over capacity. The main lines are already absolutely choked. And when you talk to people, and we did a lot of handing out and talking to people at railway stations, particularly along the Western Line, out to Parramatta and so on, they don't care about the road. None of them use the road to travel into the city. They don't want city-centric roads anyway. They want roads that sort of network them around their areas and to where jobs are in other parts of their area. They want trains. To get to the city, they tax trains. Where do you park in the city anyway? It's absolutely ludicrous.
Cassie Plata from No WestCONnex Public Transport Not Motorways. In a statement this morning, a spokesperson from Transport for New South Wales said this is not a new idea, that the idea to look at a consistent and fairer tolling structure on new and upgraded roads was outlined in the New South Wales Long-Term Transport Master Plan, released in 2012. But Shadow Minister for Roads, Jodie McKay, believes it's the secrecy and lack of detail from the government that is disturbing.
Look, I think the issue here is there's no transparency around what is actually planned. There was a parliamentary inquiry that was looking at this. It was established in 2011. It was shut down about 18 months ago. It's the only parliamentary inquiry in the last term of the parliament that didn't actually report or make any recommendations. If this is the situation that the government indicates that this is about fairness, then they should come clean on what the review is about. They haven't released any information, bar indicating that they're looking at a toll northbound on the Harbour Bridge. What we have is about 250,000 vehicular movements a day on the Harbour Bridge and the Harbour Tunnel. Now you have drivers that obviously want to know what the situation is with tolls going forward, because obviously at the moment there's a toll southbound but not northbound. Anyone who drives a car, anyone who's old enough to drive, I think is in for a rude shock in regard to what this government is about to do.
Labor MP Jodie McKay. Groups against WestCONnex developments believe it will make traffic congestion worse and stifle economic growth. Emma Pearce from the WestCONnex Action Group agrees the information about toll changes in Sydney would have been a game changer in the recent election. The chief executive of the WestCONnex Delivery Authority, Dennis Cleash, dismissed critics of the project at an address last week as a vocal minority of privileged inner-city residents who want to impose their lifestyle on the rest of the city.
The people that I know who have become very involved in this campaign, and that is growing day by day, are very angry, very normal, very average earning people who are certainly not privileged. They're people with mortgages, they're people just like others who believe that Sydney deserves better. They certainly don't want to see the destruction of the community, but they also don't want to see this wastage and pollution and all of these negative effects which will not work. The research says that you build more tollways, it induces more traffic, and it doesn't solve the problem. So it makes no sense. And yeah, look, people are not happy about being represented in that way when it's not true.
Emma Pearce from the WestCONnex Action Group. For those critical of the WestCONnex project and its offshoots, the news of the potential overhaul of Sydney's toll roads just shows how much the government isn't to be trusted.
Right now, in 2015, and from 2012 when they first announced it, they have been really secretive. They don't release any maps, they don't release any information. When they call public meetings, they bring nothing. They have no pieces of paper to hand out. People ask questions, where will it go, what will it do, who will recompense me for the loss of my house? They answer nothing. They give no information out, virtually at all. They've been highly secretive because they know the numbers don't add up. They know they have no business case for it. And were we to get an inquiry through the upper house in New South Wales Parliament, if we were able to get hold of the business papers, we could prove that it's completely unviable. It's because of the secrecy that no one really knows about it. They've been very effective.
Cassie Plata from No WestCONnex Public Transport Not Motorways.